Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. I just wanted to quickly react to Austin Rivers being, excuse me, ejected from the game against the Pacers, where Lance Stevenson flopped off of him, and the refs basically called a technical on the play, which equated to, I guess, his second technical, and then got him out of the game as a result of it. And when they showed the replay, you could very easily see that his elbow didn't even connect with Lance Stevenson's face at all. He never touched him. Lance didn't even really flop off of him hard enough for it to be like, okay, Lance sold it. You know what I mean? It didn't really even sell it that much. Um, this is one of those situations where I just honestly say, and I think I share the sentiment with most NBA fans when we say we just want the refs to get it right. We just want them to get it right. You know what I mean? And as far as ejecting a guy when he's objecting against a call that is so obviously blatantly wrong, I think there should be some way to fix that. Um, you know what I mean? When you find out the player has, a legitimate gripe, should be reinstated or something of that nature, depending on what it is that they've done. Because this was a situation where Austin Rivers did not deserve to be ejected from the game by any stretch of the imagination, based on what I saw. Not at all. Um, it was egregious. It was egregious, and it's up to the referees to get that right. I'm not mad at Lance. Lance is playing the game that he's in. This is the lay of the land. You flop, you draw fouls, you put yourself in a position to appear to be in pain or what have you, and let the referees determine what happens next. He did his part. But as far as the refs, they gotta not only get that right, but they gotta be able to swallow their pride and not take it as you being shown up when somebody's legitimately telling you that you've gotten something wrong and they're reacting to it. This game matters to them. It's their livelihood just like it's yours. And you can't expect people to just humbly relax while they're being cheated out of something that they're working very hard to accomplish. When you're playing defense, your emotions and your adrenaline and all of that is involved in your offensive, side of the ball. Same thing. Guys are competing out there, and so if they feel like they've been cheated and they lash out in a way that isn't um, deemed respectful, I think that there should be some wiggle room for interpretation in this situation. I think that the NBA has a cut and dry policy as it pertains to how they handle their players, and it doesn't seem to translate to the same way that they handle their officials. And we just want to see some parity there. Obviously, the pay scales are different. That has a lot to do with a lot of things. I think the NBA has done a good job of protecting their referees, their officials, and making it so that the environment for their working situation is as stable as possible. Because at the end of the day, a referee is going to always have enemies, no matter whether he's doing a good job or a bad job. It's always going to be somebody on the floor who's unhappy with your decision. Rarely do you get thanked for doing anything right. So I get it. You gotta protect them because they are left unprotected, and they have to be the most focused out there. They have to be the sharpest entities on the floor. They can't have mental lapses, and they certainly can't be distracted. So I get all of this, but at the same time, it's like when they get something wrong, they should not have the right away to just eject somebody who's objecting against that. I don't like that. I don't like the optic. I wouldn't like being on the wrong side of it if I were a player. And as a fan, it's no fun either. It really is no fun, especially when you're afforded the opportunity to watch replay in live real time. Everybody in the arena and everybody watching on TV and anybody who sees the clip will understand that the only person who did anything wrong there was the official. That's it. So I'm just I just feel like it was important to use my voice to try to shed a light on this and anything else that I feel like needs to improve in the league. I've always resented how they handled the referees. I didn't always understand what it is I just described, though. But at the end of the day, they do have the toughest job in the sport, but they have to get it right. and that's part of it being tough, is the demands as it placed upon it, and the fact that they are not allowed to really be emotional. They're not allowed to be egotistical out there and still be seen as someone who's doing the job correctly. And so that's what we saw out there, in my humble opinion, as we see all the time, which is NBA officials often trying to make the situation about them. And I used to say they were superstar referees when I was a kid, but a lot of times it really was that officials who just in the crunch time, in the biggest moments in the game, some of them just want to be seen. They want their number called. They want to be the LeBrons. They want to be the Mikes in some cases. And you deal with that, you know. I think the NBA had did a good job for the most part of weeding out some of those quote unquote superstar referees. But you still deal with some of that behavior. You still deal with some of it. So that's part of it as well, in my opinion. But I don't know who was officiating the game tonight, so I'm not pointing at those guys specifically for that. What I am saying, though, is when somebody says, yo, I didn't do nothing wrong, you see the replay, and they didn't, you should still be allowed to play basketball, period. That's all I got to say about that. So there it is. Hopefully the NBA can get that right. Obviously, they need to remove the technical fine, in my opinion, from Austin Rivers. He shouldn't have to pay a dime for that technical. And that's pretty much it, man. When y'all go see the replay, you'll understand how egregious it was. It was ridiculous. BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching.